4 years ago today, thousands of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol to try to stop the certification of the 2020 presidential election. After trying to throw out hundreds of thousands of black votes in Detroit, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Milwaukee in 2020, begging Georgia officials to change the election results.
I just want to find 11,780 votes.
Sicking his attack dogs on Fulton County election workers Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss.
Do you know how it feels to have the President of the United States to target you?
Losing
64 of 65 lawsuits that Donald Trump threw at us after the election.
From 86 different judges, including 38 appointed by Republicans, and his own attorney general dismissing Trump's election fraud claims.
Which I told the president was bullshit.
Trump nevertheless urged his supporters to show up in Washington on January 6th for one last wild attempt to overthrow the results of the election. The failed coup caused $2.7 billion in estimated cost, including $30 million in damage to the Capitol itself. Because of Trump, 174 police officers were assaulted and 15 were hospitalized. One person was killed at the scene, 8 others died afterwards. Members of Congress hid under their desks. Republican Senator Josh Hawley ran for his life, and a Confederate flag was flown inside the Capitol. The Vice President of the United States had to be escorted out of the chamber by the Secret Service, while Trump supporters chanted, "Hang Mike Pence." Pence was so concerned about Trump's plot that he refused to get in a car to leave the site. But when Trump heard that the mob wanted to kill his own vice president, Trump told staff members,
he thinks Mike deserves it. He doesn't think they're doing anything wrong.
While Americans were shocked by 3 long, grueling hours of terrorist violence, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, sat in the executive dining room watching it unfold on TV and refused to say a word to the public for 187 minutes, from 1:10 p.m. to 4:17 p.m., before he finally called off the attackers. And when he did speak, he told the terrorists at the Capitol,
"We love you. You're very special. I know how you feel."
Remember, Republicans spent 2 years, 33 hearings, and $7 million attacking Hillary Clinton, who was never president, for failing to stop an attack on a U.S. embassy 5,000 miles away in Benghazi, Libya. And then when their own commander-in-chief refused to lift a finger to stop an attack on the U.S. Capitol only 2 miles away from the Oval Office, they tried to quash the investigation. Only one person was responsible for the chaos of January 6th. None of this would have happened but for Donald Trump. This man has so little respect for America's institutions that he even refused to attend his successor's inauguration, the first time since the end of the Civil War 150 years ago, when a sitting American president did not participate in the democratic ritual marking the peaceful transfer of power. Republicans knew immediately that Trump was responsible.
The president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on Congress by mob rioters.
They were provoked by the president.
The House of Representatives impeached him. A bipartisan 57-43 majority of the U.S. Senate voted to convict him, and a federal grand jury indicted him. The Constitution says that no person shall hold any public office if they engaged in insurrection or rebellion or gave aid and comfort to those who did. But 57% of white voters went ahead and voted for him anyway. And just this weekend, Trump was in Mar-a-Lago reportedly celebrating the people who tried to overthrow the election. Thanks to white America, there will be no consequences for Donald Trump, and the dangerous insurrectionists who tried to overthrow our government will likely be pardoned as well. So don't ever lecture me or any other black American about law and order, back the blue, comply with the police, nonviolence, democracy, patriotism, or the U.S. Constitution. 2 months ago, on November 5th, white voters made it very clear that they don't give a damn about any of those things. They care about white supremacy.